spooky friends. Welcome to 31 Days Till Halloween. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos so far as much as I am making these videos. Looking forward in this video because I am going to be talking about the Stoll Cemetery, as known as 7 Gateways to Hell. Stoll Cemetery in Stoll, Kansas is known for its spooky legends and eerie stories, but it is privately owned and closed for visitors. Stoll Cemetery is located in a small town of Stoll, Kansas, next to an abandoned church. The cemetery is surrounded by legends of witchcraft, ghosts, and supernatural happenings. There has been said that some say that Satan visits the cemetery twice a year, and it's one of the 7 gateways to hell. Also, others say that there is a staircase in the basement of the church that leads to hell. The legends surrounding Stoll Cemetery have been around for over 100 years, yet didn't appear in print until the 1970s. The legend has since become a part of Americans' popular culture and has been referenced in so many forms of media. In November of 1974, an article appeared in the University of Kansas student newspaper that spoke of a number of strange things in the Stoll churchyard. According to the article, Stoll was haunted by legends of supernatural happenings, and legends asserted that the cemetery was one of the 2 places on earth where the devil appears in person twice a year. It also has said that the cemetery had been the course of many legends in the area, stories that had been told and retold for over and over a century. The piece also went on to say that most students learn of Stoll's stuff from their grandparents and other older individuals. But yet, that many of them claimed first-hand experiences with things that really couldn't be explained. One student claimed to have been grabbed by the arm by something that you couldn't see, while others spoke of unexplained memory loss when visiting there. Like many other locations of this kind of type, the tales of the devil worship and witchcraft also figured strongly into the article. According to the residents of Stoll, who claimed to never heard of these stories before, they were bemused and also annoyed and downright and argued that these things were being said about their hometown. The pastor of the new church in Stoll, located right across the road from the old one, indicated that he believed the stories to be the intervention of students at the university. The stories have a strong hold on a lot of people, as evidenced by the reaction to the article that claimed that the devil would appear in the Stoll cemetery on the night of the spring and Halloween. On March 20th, 1978, more than 150 people waited in the cemetery for the arrival of the devil. The word also spread that the spirit of those who died violent deaths and were buried there would return from the grave. Unfortunately, the only spirits that showed up at night came in bottles and cans. Yet, this did not stop the stories from spreading. Although the 1980s and up till today, the stories have been told about Stoll Cemetery, and as the time has passed, most of the grown more horrifying and hard to believe. The problem seems to be that the cemetery has a lack of real evidence and have evidence according to the strange, odd activities. The weird tales seem to be a little more that on urban legends and second-hand stories from teenagers and college students. One story told two young men who were visiting the Stoll Cemetery one night and became frightened when a strong wind began blowing out of nowhere. They ran back to their car and only find out that the vehicle had been moved to another side of the highway and now facing the opposite direction. Another man has claimed to experience the same wind, yet inside of the church rather than the graveyard. He also claimed that the sinister air current knocked him to the floor and would not allow him to move for some time. Independently, it was inside of the same church where witnesses say that no rain will fall. Even though the crumbling building has no roof. The legends also say that the devil has been appearing here since around the 1850s, an instance that the original name of this town was Skull, and that the later of the skull was simply to cover the fact that the area was steeped in black magic. It was said that the witchcraft practicing early settlers were so in the moment about their past deeds that they changed the name of the town. In the truth, the town was called Deer Creek community until 1899, when the last name of the first postmaster, Stull, was adopted as the name of the village. The post office closed down in 1903, but the name stuck. In 1980, an article appeared in the Kansas City Times that added further fuel to the rumors about Stull Cemetery and the abandoned church. The article was quoted as saying the devil chose two places to appear on Earth every Halloween. One of them was Tumbleweed Helmets of Stull, Kansas, and the other, which occurs stimously at midnight and someplace on the desalinated plain, India. From these sites, according to the article, the devil gathers all the people who died violent deaths over the past year around the earth at the witching hour. An author, Lisa, was collected numerous legends that have added to the mythology of the Stull Cemetery. Some of them include the fact that the devil also appears at Stull on the last night of winter or first night of spring. He comes to visit a witch that is buried there, an old tombstone buried with the name Witch is located fairly close to the old church. It should also be mentioned that there are rumors that an old tree in the graveyard, which was cut down over a year ago or so and was once used as a gallows of witches. There's also said that be a grave in a cemetery that holds the bones of child of Satan who was born of the devil and a witch. The child was so deformed that he only lived for a few days, and the body was buried in Stull. Some say that his ghost may walk here, as there supposedly was a photo taken a few years ago shows a werewolf-like boy peering out from behind the trees. One of the strangest stories about Stull supposedly appeared in the Time magazines, but didn't, either in 1993 or 1995, depending on what version you heard. This story claims that Pope John Paul II allegedly ordered his private plane to fly around eastern Kansas while on his way to the public appearance in another state. The reason for this, the story claims that the Pope did not want to fly over unholy ground. The legends grew, and by 1989, the crowd at the graveyard on Halloween night had become so overwhelming that the Douglas County Sheriff's Department had to station deputies outside to spend people on their way. They handed the tickets for criminal trespassing to anyone who caught on the property. It was believed that nearly 500 people came to the cemetery on Halloween night of 1988, doing damage to the church and gravestones, prompting a police response the following year. As time passed, the local residents grew more irritated that vandals and trespassers were wrecking in the cemetery where their loved ones and ancestors were buried. Finally, a chain-link security fence was installed around the grounds, and though the area is still regularly patrolled, the visits have died down somewhat, at least outside of October. In addition, there have been the signs posted against trespassing here, and locals have made it clear that visitors are not welcome. Property owners have spoken out against both different kind of stories that they have done little to try to end the legends for good. The building has been standing vacant around 1922 and has been badly damaged in vandalism over the years. In 1996, the remains of the roof blew off once exposed to the elements. The interior walls have been damaged by both weather and graffiti. Recently, a large crack also opened in one of the stone walls after the church was struck by lightning. On Halloween night of 1999, reporters from a local newspaper and a television news crew joined a group of onlookers at the cemetery. Sheriff's deputies were on hand and did not ask anyone to leave until 11:30 p.m. An unknown representatives for the cemetery owners appeared and ordered everyone to leave the property. The officers had no choice but to go along with their wishes, and the reporters and spectators had to leave. As Stoll Cemetery and the land around it is a private property, and there was no option to comply. The owners stated through communication that they did not want media's attention brought to the graveyard, mainly because it attracts vandals, right? On March 29th, 2002, the old stone church at the cemetery was mysteriously demolished, and a man named Meyer West who owned the property along with 2 other people, said that he did not authorize the abandoned church to be destroyed. Those who lived nearby stated that they were also unaware of the demolished, although one of them did say that the wall of the church had collapsed about 2 weeks prior. The spooky old church, so much part of the legend, was no more. From that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys did, let me know by liking, subscribing, etc. And if you aren't already or yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any of these videos. And I'm also trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, from that being said, I hope to see you guys tomorrow, and don't forget to stay spooky. Bye.